Welcome to another Fabric 5 video by Data on Wheels. My name is Steve Hughes. I'm a Data on Wheels founder and happy to join you today, specifically talking about smoothing. So today we're going to look at how smoothing can affect your cost working in Fabric. Let's get started. In my previous video, we talked about how bursting was introduced by Microsoft for the purpose of maximizing performance in your Fabric capacity. Smoothing is how bursting is made possible by managing the cost or how your build or overrunning your capacity along the way. So typically they're talked about together, but we do this in 5-minute segments, so it takes a little bit of time to get these together. I borrowed the visual from Microsoft on bursting and smoothing, so you can kind of see as the visual plays out how you go over capacity, and Microsoft proceeds to smooth that capacity cost and usage into the future for your purposes. So when you look at smoothing, it really comes down to you're going to overrun your cost. They're going to smooth it out to a future unused capacity until that time you run out. Once you run out of capacity, the throttling begins. So when you think about that, when smoothing no longer is able to smooth far enough out in front, you will actually start to see throttling happen. Typically, throttling starts with interactive queries and then moves to more of batch load processes after that. So interactive smoothing is done over 5 minutes or longer. Now keep in mind that a lot of Fabric, because Fabric is built in Azure, is a lot of minute by minute type calculations. So it's constantly bursting and smoothing over time. You'll need to look at capacity management reporting in order to understand what Microsoft is doing to support your workloads. Background smoothing is done over a 24-hour period and will continue to allow background operations to operate in a cost-effective manner. This includes operations that are typically attached to the data warehouse portion of Fabric. So keep in mind, if you want to understand the experience of being throttled, really you're unable to complete an action because your Fabric capacity has been throttled. You receive an error message like up in the corner there. That happens from any type of tool, such as Management Studio or the Fabric portal, notebooks and such, that will tell you that you have run out of capacity and you're not able to complete that action. Typically, that throttling should only last a minute or two, unless you way exceeded your future capacity and there's really nothing available for a while. At which point you should look at increasing your overall capacity in order to support the workload you're doing. All these things should be taken into consideration when evaluating and trying to understand how Fabric will work in your environment. It is really important to keep bursting and smoothing in mind as you plan and prepare, as you should be able to find that sweet spot that keeps you from running what would be your maximum need, but more in that 70-30 type routine where if I write my capacity or get my capacity to cover 70% of my need, 30% should be held by smoothing, and I should be good to go. That's just a guess these days. Be sure to try it out in your environment look at capacity management tooling, and really understand how it affects what you're doing. And remember, it will tell you when you're throttled, and that is a good time to evaluate why and what you need to do to better handle the bursting and smoothing operations in your fabric environment. Hopefully this is helpful to you. Give us a like, a share, or subscribe. We look forward to talking to you the next time. Have a great day.